Hello!
Woohoo! Woo!
Welcome to the GeekDad, the inaugural episode of GeekDad Roleplaying. I am Michael Harrison, and I will be serving as the Game Master tonight. And we will move that way.
I'm James Floyd Kelly. I'm a writer for GeekDad. I'll be playing a human cleric tonight with some really interesting insecurities.
I am Erik Wecks. I am a writer with GeekDad, and I will be playing a wizard, Delmer A. Leafy Toes, and A is for aloof.
I'm Dave Banks. I'm also a writer for GeekDad. I'm going to be playing Gru, who's a not very intelligent fighter.
And I am Daniel Solis. I am a geek, but not a dad. I'll be joining the group tonight, and I'll be playing Silky Clamknuckle, the halfling rogue.
And before we get started, we should probably talk a little bit about our odd man out here, Daniel Solis. Daniel is I guess you're pretty much a game designer day and night now, right?
Yeah, officially after this year, yeah.
And Daniel is the designer, author of Happy Birthday Robots, Doe, Pilgrims of the Flying Temple, and about 50 billion other games. Daniel, tell us a little bit about yourself and your work.
I'm a graphic designer by day, game designer by night, usually anyway. Right now I am actually finally pursuing a career in game design next year, which is going to be a fun little adventure, I think. And hopefully we'll have a fun adventure tonight, too.
That is the plan. All right. Well, so let's introduce our characters, first of all. Daniel, go ahead and introduce us to Silky.
Okay. I literally have not thought about this at all beforehand, so I'm just gonna go off the cuff here. I'm gonna say Silky Clamknuckle is a short, even for a halfling rogue, shifty kind of guy. Lots of little pouches and secret little pockets here and there. A little shifty, wary of any kind of authority figures that police specifically, if they're about. But always ready to join a gang if the pay is good. So
you would probably say that Silky is maybe a member of the local adventuring guild. That's kind of his bag. He's into raiding dungeons and getting a treasure.
Oh yeah.
All right, and
the group.
Excellent. And what do you think, Dave? How do you think Gru knows Silky?
You know, Gru is hanging out in the local pub as Gru is wont to do. And
does he drink there?
Gru drinks a lot.
Okay. Which,
explains some of the lack of his wisdom, but some of it's just some of it comes naturally as well. And Silky sauntered in, looking for a paying job. He was tired of the non-paying jobs, and
Silky doesn't work on spec.
No profit sharing for you? No shares in the company in the future?
Silky accepts a very high commission.
I'm sure there's some parallels to be drawn here between Silky and a full-time game designer. But
my terms clearly state an advance on royalties followed by a 5% royalty for 2 years with option to renew after 2 years.
The standard adventurer's contract, right?
Yep.
So who pays that? Who's in charge here?
Well, we got to have a paying gig first, don't we?
That's true.
It'd be the guild master that we pay homage to, right?
I think one of you is probably the guild master. I think one of you is probably in charge of this whole operation. Who is it?
Probably the smartest one in the bunch.
That would be the wizard or the cleric, right?
I think it's the
Not
cleric.
the cleric. No.
I think it's the cleric because the wizard is not here because he wants to be.
This is not an intelligent cleric.
The wizard was accused of cheating and thrown out of wizarding school, and his family of noble high elves has disowned him. And he is in complete denial. He never cheated. He didn't do anything wrong, and it's completely unfair that he's here. So he barely tolerates the people around him.
He sounds like an excellent coworker.
Yeah, he'll be fun to work with, that's for sure.
So it sounds like this might be some sort of a co-op.
we add our scores. You take one intelligent and one wise.
All right.
I'm cool with the kind of like this is the inaugural mission of an experimental co-op.
Profit sharing.
Yeah,
it's like Costco.
This is kind of this is our characters sitting around at a pub talking. You know, we're shooting the breeze.
It's multi-level marketing. We can start a pyramid scheme.
Good.
So you've come up with a business plan, and the only thing that you're missing right now is a clientele. And it's getting toward Christmas, or I'm sorry, not Christmas. Winterfest time. Yule.
Always put Yule on the end. That'll do
Solstice.
Exactly. It's the time of the solstice. You know, the days are getting the days are short, but they're about to get longer, and everyone's bundling up. It's cold. They're hoping they'll make it through the long winter ahead. And not a lot of people are thinking about adventuring. They're mostly thinking about, you know, turnips and root vegetables and that sort of thing. So you guys are waiting for some sort of gig to come around.
Why wait?
Just go out and find adventure?
The dungeons aren't closed for the holidays, are they?
A few of them are. I mean, they have vacation time.
They have limited hours.
Well, then they won't expect us.
It's kind of like Washington attacking on Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah.
We're not
it's
going
in your
in on Black
contract
Friday.
that you have to give them a certain amount of time.
It's part of the guild contract. You have to let them prepare, right?
You guys, I was at the dungeon on Black Friday, and it was so crowded. I'm not really sure this is a good idea.
But luckily, you don't have to go seeking out illegal activity inside dungeons during off times. You don't have to be scabs, because you're sitting around in your headquarters, which is, I suppose, the same inn where Gru and Silky met.
This table is actually the headquarters.
That's right.
Right.
It's a co-working space.
Timeshare.
When a small, even smaller than Silky, humanoid comes creeping through the door. He's clad in a red and green robe with a hood over his head. And he walks up to the bar.
His name Buddy?
Slaps down some coin and says, "1 eggnog."
Silky, this looks like our kind of friend. We gotta invite him over. He likes to drink like us.
You know, I know his kind of elf, and I'm not sure we want him at this table. They can be trouble.
He's one of those, huh?
He grabs the glass of eggnog and downs it in one go, and scans the pub looking for a certain type of group.
Put your head down, guys.
Yeah.
Combing my hair here, looking nice and.
And
All right.
seeing as you are currently the only group in the pub,
Not much choice.
Can't hide under the
call
table.
upon you. And
Location.
he starts approaching.
We all
What can I
point
do
to the
for you,
wizard.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
you wouldn't happen to be an adventuring group, would you?
Depends.
The type of adventuring group that takes on jobs for money.
Yep, we're that type of group.
That's us.
Yes.
Loot.
Well, I have a business proposition for you. As you may notice, I am not of a sizable stature, and I have been party recently to a rather unfortunate theft. He pulls back his hood, and indeed he is some sort of elfin creature, probably about 3 feet tall, abnormally large ears, abnormally large nose. His hands look calloused, as if he works with them frequently.
So, where's the rest of your clan? They went off north several hundred years ago. Can't they help you? Why are you here?
Because I have been on a quest seeking out the lost artifact, and it's my quest has brought me here.
What is the lost artifact? Sounds interesting.
Well,
Sounds paying.
Sounds expensive.
It is
Sounds like it's worth selling.
priceless piece of equipment that my employer has been seeking for the past 11 months.
What is it?
You, wizard, perhaps you've heard of a certain type of bag that someone could come across.
Bigger on the inside than it is on the outside?
Exactly. You've heard of them before.
Mm-hmm. Those are
I
useful.
thought those were legends.
They are, and this is the original.
Ooh.
And
How would we know this bag, and how would we find it?
Yeah, can you describe the bag?
What
I
would
have
you pay to
tracked
get it
the
back?
bag to a campground just outside of town. But
Okay.
unfortunately, I am too short and small and, well, frankly, not brave enough to go and take it forcefully from the thief.
Do you know who took it?
It was one of my kind, we believe. Perhaps a traitor, a turncoat of some kind. He warmed up to our boss and then made off one night with this priceless artifact.
Is it that Hermie guy that wants to be the dentist? Is it him?
No, he went off and became a dentist, and we don't really talk very much anymore. But
Would you
So
describe him as
was there-
dark? Is he a dark person?
he's extremely dark.
A dark elf is what you're saying.
Exactly.
So, did your employer have anything in the bag when it was taken?
Well, at the time, unfortunately, the bag was empty. But he has been spending a lot of time since then working on a number of a certain amount of product that he will be selling at a certain type of market later this month. And we have no way to transfer this product to the market, and this might cause severe shortcomings in our...
Fourth quarter projections?
Exactly.
I don't know. This fellow seems kind of shady, everybody.
I'm serious.
You know, I think that the thing that we're kind of leaving behind, the most pertinent fact in this whole conversation, is how much are you willing to pay us to go do this job?
That's
What
a good
do we
question.
get?
Thank you, Gru.
What's in it for us?
My boss is a craftsman of unparalleled skill. Think of a piece of equipment, a weapon, a set of armor that you've been that you've been coveting for the past year or so. Picture it in your head. He will make it for you.
I don't have to sit anywhere in particular to request this item?
No, you can just describe it to me, and I will bring it back to him, and he will make it for you.
Because I'm cool with sitting.
And when will it get back to us? I mean, delivery could take a while, right?
Yeah. We may need a down payment here, sir.
I'm thinking...
Can he deliver it by Tuesday?
Yes.
He could deliver it on Tuesday?
As soon as you wake up in the morning, it will be there for you.
Oh, wow.
So this bag that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, would your boss be able to do something similar in, say, a mead cup?
We've attempted that before in the past. It resulted in several lawsuits.
Oh, the ale storm. Right.
The ale.
And the death of about 13 elves. So you would have to prove to me that your constitution is up for such an amazing artifact.
Get drinking, group.
Or sign some sort of agreement.
We could put together a waiver.
A waiver.
All right.
Well, you know, it's getting. I'm looking out the window. I don't even know how long we've been in this establishment. Is it daylight? Is it nighttime right now?
I don't know. What is it?
I'm looking out the window. It looks. Oh, I get to decide. Looks like it's getting a little twilightish out there.
It's starting to snow.
Look at Michael giving us player agency like an indie.
Is the snow coming down heavy, or is it just a light sprinkling?
It's currently a light sprinkling, but the short fellow looks out the window and says, "That's gonna pick up." I know these things.
Is there already snow on the ground?
It's starting to stick.
Yeah.
But previous...
No accumulation as of yet.
We need to get moving if we're going to do this, guys.
Hey, did we get this guy's name?
Little fellow, what is your name?
Yeah.
I am called Noldo.
Noldo.
Mr. Noldo?
Noldo Foreman.
Noble Foreman. So, Noldo, how do we know you're going to be here when we get back?
I can give you something. As
Or
collateral.
we could keep the bag.
Well, that is true. I could certainly...
Do you think the
make off
bag
with
will
the
hold
bag.
mead?
But if you expect your payments, I will be waiting here. You can bring the bag to me, and you will get the payment.
Why don't you give us a second to talk it over? Go have another shot of eggnog at the bar, and let's see what we think here.
He nods and heads back to the bar. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Go have some eggnog.
What do you think, guys?
I'm actually thinking that maybe we should bring him with us just to make sure that he pays.
I don't know if we're going to get... I don't know if we can... We might have to forcibly take him. I don't think he's going to go if we just ask.
We could take him. We could literally take him.
I'll put him in my pocket.
Pick him up and walk with you?
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, we don't want to risk his life.
Yeah,
we lose him, we might lose the reward.
Can we stash him somewhere?
Oh, that's a good idea. We could. Do you think we could pay the barkeep to lock him in one of the cabinets behind the bar?
Oh, you know.
You notice that he turns at this point. His ears twitch. He raises an eyebrow.
We don't necessarily need to lock him in. As long as we keep him in Nog for a couple hours here while we go out and fetch his little bag, he'll be fine, I think.
I'd like to ask him if there's anything he could give us as collateral. He's got to have something. He didn't come empty-handed.
Excellent. Let's do that. So
I turn to him and I wave him over. I'd like him to come back over. And I look him in the eyes and I ask him, I say, look, you didn't get here on your own 2 feet. We need some collateral. We need something that's going to guarantee you're going to be here when we return.
Okay. I suppose most people would just assume that I would want this artifact and I would pay for it and I would wait around for it, and that if you do get it, you have a bag of holding that you can keep, but understandable.
We're not most people.
We're not the smartest bunch. They left on an earlier quest. You're about an hour and a half too late.
You got the C team.
Look, it's the holidays and we're open.
So he motions to you and he says, I have something, but it's outside. Follow me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's outside.
Yeah, we'll follow him.
Okay. So he makes his way toward the stable, and as you move up to the doorway, you see that there is a extremely large elk-like creature.
Yes.
I look carefully at its nose.
Affixed to its nose, you notice upon closer examination that this creature is not actually an animal. It is some sort of an automaton.
Oh, it's mechanical.
Some sort of a war-forged reindeer of some kind. And affixed to its nose is a sort of an ever-burning torch.
Is it the nose or something on the nose? Can we take it?
The road.
He looks at you and he says that the nose light is removable if you need to get off of the vehicle and investigate something off the road.
All right.
That could be handy.
Yeah.
So let's take the elk and we'll be back.
Yeah. Now, is this something we need to hitch up, or is it big enough we could all hop on?
It looks like there are seats enough for 4. You could all fit on top of it.
Oh, is there
I just got this vision of this adventurous party of 4 tough dudes sitting on top of a reindeer.
and you steer with his antlers.
Like really close in, right? Like really tight together. That's all.
Okay, I'm small. I can sit on the head.
Gru doesn't find this funny at all. For Gru, this is an average Saturday night.
Can Gru handle heights?
Oh.
I can be on someone's shoulders.
No. I'd like to ask. I look at Noldo and I ask him, I say, what's the speed of this thing? How fast is it?
Well, it generally goes much faster in snow due to the skis that I've retrofitted. But it can go about as fast as a standard horse.
Does it do anything else other than the nose lighting up? Does it do anything else?
Does it do anything else? I mean, I think that's quite a lot for a mechanical.
I was wondering if it could ever get airborne for any length of time.
We're investigating those possibilities for the Mark II model, but I am under non-disclosure.
Fast escape sometimes.
Now, I can program in the location of the campground that I found, and he'll take you straight there with his.
That's a nice feature.
Yes.
Right.
Reindeer GPS.
Well, we tried to get his the light to guide him, but it didn't work.
Does this creature have a name? Can I name it?
I've never thought about naming it.
I was thinking Adolf the Warforged Reindeer.
That sounds awesome. 80 for short.
80.
He says, "You can call it whatever you want. Just get my bag back."
And bring it back.
Okay. Noldo, what are we actually up against here? When we get there, I mean, you obviously know more about.
He said one little guy. Let's just go.
Yeah, details.
Details.
So well, before we get going, I would like to ask Noldo. You know where this bag is in this campsite. Is there anything else that you know about the campsite? Any creatures you might have seen there? Anything that we should be on the lookout for? Be prepared for?
A dark look sort of passes over his face, and he thinks for a second. Zoopmark, which is the elf who made off with this particular artifact, he is known to cavort with very unsavory characters. And it's possible he may have hired some of them to help protect this investment in his own startup. But I can't say for sure. During my reconnaissance, I only saw a solitary tent in the campground, and I saw his particular model of Warforged reindeer.
So
outside.
There's two of these things?
Yes. Oh, there's
and we only have to bring one back, right?
I suppose you could keep his if he lets you.
Okay.
This is why a contract is important, fellas.
Get it in writing.
Verbal contracts are binding.
Yeah, well, we've got a witness. The bartender's a good guy. Well, actually, the bartender's way. We're in the stables, aren't we?
Was there even a bartender?
The ostler is taking down notes for you. So.
Let's go. Let's get this adventure on the road.
Going. We got a wizard with a death wish. Come on.
Let's all pack in really tight on this reindeer, fellas.
But nobody can touch me. I just want to say that.
Okay, so you hop up on board. You look around for a few moments, trying to figure out how to make the thing go.
Is it verbal? I try verbal command. Go forward, mush.
Oh, Tanlo.
Danlo.
Can you scoot back just a little bit?
Okay.
A little too close there.
Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, you're touching
your dagger
Tanlo.
in my backside.
Tanlo, you're touching me a little bit here. Can you scoot forward?
All right, you know what? We gotta hop off. We're gonna have to reorder. We need to do this right. Who's up front?
Who's got the wizard staff here?
I'm up front.
All right, so you do discover that there is a sort of a lever in the behind area.
Like a rudder?
Yeah, it looks like kind of a rudder.
Gotta reach behind. Reach around.
Oh, God.
Noldo says, you can push that in to start.
Oh my
start
God.
the units.
I think you just got it.
But if you want to go into manual, you can use that as well to start.
Sure.
I don't know if I want manual.
It's much better than the digital models we had before. And I don't mean ones and zeros.
Naldo. Would you say that this campsite's within walking distance?
We'll just use it as a pack.
Okay.
I'm fully comfortable just following the Warforged reindeer.
All right, so you guys managed to get it started without too much trouble.
Fade to black.
And it takes you down the road a couple of miles, and it's very quick. It starts picking up speed as the snow starts to stick. and eventually you come up over a hill and you see down below a small campground with a campfire and some torches. And there are a couple of people sitting around the campfire, smaller figures in heavy cloaks, trying to keep warm. They don't seem to be, in any sort of apparent danger. It's not like they're patrolling. They're just sitting and apparently talking.
And they haven't seen us.
They have not seen you.
The giant
Turn the nose off.
robotic reindeer.
Yes. The one benefit of Adolf is that he is very slow. Or I'm sorry, he's very quiet.
Quiet.
We turn the nose off.
Okay.
And we dismount.
You have to pull out the stick to do that.
Michael.
Crew, get that. Crew will get it.
All right. So, do we need a sneaky person here?
Yeah, why don't you go see what's going on at the camp and come back and report to us? Do some scouting. That's
All
your
right.
job.
Actually, I'm not
That's
sure.
why we brought you, halfling.
Yeah,
Go
right.
burgle something.
All right. Okay, so let's see. I'm just looking at what I have here as abilities.
What?
I can cook.
So you can cook.
Yeah. So this is a campsite, right?
It is a campsite. You could cook something at the campsite if you were interested.
Here's what I'm actually thinking about first. Before I take one step forward at all, this is an active campsite, right? So there's people here possibly eating, cooking.
Yeah, there were actually two people around the campfire, and you see another one come out of the tent and hunker down in front.
So a total of 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get a whiff of what they're cooking?
It smells like. Let's see here. It smells sort of minty.
Oh.
Are all 3 of these creatures the same species? They're all kind of dark elf looking, or
You're not close enough to really see what they are, but they are wearing cloaks that look very similar to Noldo's.
All right.
It looks like they've been dyed a darker color, though.
I'm gonna scout around the perimeter of the campsite,
Okay.
sticking to the tree line.
Okay. So there's really not a lot going on in the campsite. There's the 3 figures around the fire. They're holding out these sort of. They look like long sticks. Upon closer inspection, they're actually they have these little red lines sort of spiraling around them, and they're holding them over the fire, and then occasionally putting them to their mouths.
Roasted mint. Huh?
Yes, and the tent is kind of set back a little bit from the campfire, but it's completely drawn. You can't see anything inside of it. And they're talking very quietly. At this point, you're not quite close enough to hear what they're saying, but you could get a little bit closer if you wanted to try.
Does the tent look big enough to have another person in it? Is it big enough for 4 people, 5 people, or is it a 2 or 3 person size?
It looks like about a 2-person tent.
Okay.
Is it like a human-sized tent, or
Yes.
is it? And are these human-sized people at the fire? Or are they Noldo?
No, they're small, very similar to Noldo.
Oh, we got a clown car here.
I think we have a clown car too. I'm saying there's 30 of those little buggers in there.
Yeah, that tent is bigger on the inside. That tent is the
The
bag.
tent is the bag. Just grab the tent and let's go.
All right. What the hell? I'll give it a shot. I'll try to sneak in closer to hear what they're saying.
All right. I want you to roll a d20 and then add your dexterity bonus to it.
Okie dokie. Oh God, that's a 9.
That is a 9. Okay. So you start making your way closer and closer. You get to a point and you pause and you cup your hand to your ear and you still can't hear what they're saying. So you take another step forward and there's a loud snapping noise as you step on one of these weird red spiral sticks that has made its way onto the ground, and it snaps. And all 3 of the figures look up. They look right at you.
I run the hell away.
Not towards us, the other way. Don't come back here.
So they
this is all part of the plan. We've done this before. This is all perfectly planned.
The plan.
So
Let's ride the reindeer right down into the camp right now while they're distracted.
Yeah, I'm actually taking take that plan, and I'm actually gonna run away from the rest of the group.
okay. Well, so one of them stands up. The other 2 are still sitting, just kind of staring quizzically. And the one that stands up sort of takes a half step forward and says, "What the hell was that?
Oh, you weren't seen.
Who the hell was that?
Ooh.
Was that another elf?"
I'm gonna cough, just off in the distance, like really low, just enough so that they can hear. Like,
okay. So they look over in whatever direction the cough comes from, and the 2 sitting at the fire now stand up. And the one that was previously standing actually draws the sword and says, "I'm not sure what's going on here, but there's obviously someone snooping around. Let's go investigate." And they start walking away together, a group of 3, toward the direction that you ran.
Okay, and they're just away from the rest of the group.
Well, so it's the 3 of them. There's no one else outside.
Okay.
Delmer, would you like to go take a look at the camp while we back you?
You're sending in the wizard. This seems like an excellent plan.
You
Strap
have the
on your
death
plate
wish.
mail.
You have the death wish.
Can I before we get that far? Can I do a thing here where I set them on a different path, like just throw a rock or something and get them on a different trail?
Oh, interesting.
Nice. Just don't throw the rock in our direction.
Right.
Clam Knuckles are a smart bunch.
Because I do have Ambusher.
Ambusher?
I do.
How does that work?
You strike foes with deadly precision when you catch them unaware.
Oh, okay, interesting.
When you start your turn hidden from a creature, you have advantage on your first attack against that creature during that turn, even if you are revealed or otherwise become unhidden during that turn.
Okay, I'm going to say that...
I'm not sure if that's relevant.
That in order for you to trick them, you will have to make a dexterity check again, and they will oppose it with their intelligence.
Okay. Holy crap. That is a 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay. You're very lucky, because they rolled very, very well. But they are very, very, very stupid. So you chuck a pine cone, and it lands far to the other side. The sort of de facto leader turns to the others and said, "Did you hear that? He's over there. Come on, whoa!" And they start moving, and then he pauses and he says, "Wait a second. You," and he points to one of the other guys. He says, "You go back, go into the tent, and tell the others."
Shit.
So
we don't know
two
that.
of them begin running toward your distraction, and the other one slowly moves back toward the tent. He appears to be somewhat frightened. He doesn't want to be on his own.
And I cannot signal anyone here without giving myself away.
But he is far enough away right now from the other group, and he's still kind of in the darkness away from the campfire.
Ambushing.
So you
Get him.
could potentially try to take him out.
Get him. Do you have a ranged weapon at all?
No, I think all I have is
You'll have a dagger and something.
yes, I have a dagger and a short sword.
Dagger, he'll make noise. Unless you kill him.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at my equipment. I have 5 daggers apparently, and a short sword.
Oh, you could throw the daggers.
Throw the short sword.
That's what 5 daggers are for. Or throw the short sword.
You could. It's a little elf.
For a halfling, isn't a dagger kind of a short sword?
True.
Okay. Well, so how do I do this? I haven't played D&D in ages.
Are you bidextrous? Just lie, say you are. Are you can you throw with both hands?
Ambidextrous?
Yes. Are you ambidextrous? Thank you.
Is that an ability here that I would have?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
It's one of those. It's.
Do you want him like to go in throwing daggers akimbo,
character filler
John Woo style?
in slow motion?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a sneak attack. Once per round, you can deal 2d6 sneak attack damage to a creature that you hit with an attack. To deal this extra damage, you must have an advantage against the creature.
Well, you have the advantage.
Because
you gotta
have
hit
the
it.
advantage. He is
It's
unaware
dark,
of you.
His back is to you. He's walking away from you.
Throw the knife and use it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So
I'm going to nail this elf.
to throw, I believe you roll a d20.
Okay.
And
What's my modifier?
that's a good question. Let me pull up.
I'm happy to just jump. I'm happy to just jump the guy.
Isn't
You
this the
might
way
be
that
happy with that too.
All right, so your dagger is +5 to attack.
Are we seeing any of this from our vantage point, or is this totally hidden from us?
You can see that the guys got up and started moving away, and now you see that one of them has turned around and is kind of almost re-entering the circle of the flame, the campfire.
Wizard, is there distance enough for you to do magic missile?
Yeah, maybe I can magic missile him.
All right.
Are we within that distance?
I worry you'll hit Silky though.
I can't miss with magic missile.
That's true.
Not possible.
What's the range?
A little flashy though.
Is there a range issue?
100
Yep.
feet. Magic
Wow,
missile is 100 feet. We got to be within that, right?
Yes, you are within 100 feet, and you can see him, so you can target him with magic missile.
Do we want to? So
Wait.
let's do it.
What's the damage?
1d4 plus 1. I've got something up here on the computer I can use, and I got a total of 4 damage.
So you're hitting him before the halfling has a chance to attack?
How would we know what the halfling is doing?
Yeah,
Okay. All right, so
I'm worried he's going to scream out.
so you did 4 damage?
I did 4
All
damage.
right, so he's walking back. I'm going to make a roll to see what happens when he gets hit by this magic missile.
Are they really automatic hits at 100 feet?
Yep.
Wow.
But there's small damage,
But
Glad
it's
we brought you along.
Yeah.
Okay, so the magic
like
missile
1d4. Who cares?
the magic missile zips through the air, and it does a fairly good job of illuminating the forest as it flies toward this guy. And it nails him right in the back of the head, and he goes tumbling over without making a sound. And he's completely still.
But we've set
So-
trees on fire, haven't we?
And there were no trees on fire, but it did kind of flash as it moved through the air.
Wow.
So Silky, you're walking up, sneaking up to this guy, and then he just like goes tumbling over dead.
You were good, Silky.
Wait, he's dead?
He is not moving.
Better finish him off.
I check his
Stab?
On the
pockets.
ground in
Twist
front of you,
the
like at
arrow.
your feet.
Stab
Check his
him in
pockets.
the back.
You check his pockets.
Get his wallet.
Well, he is not carrying much. He has a short sword, and he has about 4 gold pieces.
Yoink.
You taking the sword and the gold pieces, or just the gold pieces?
I'll take the sword and the gold pieces.
All All right, you hear more tramping in the woods coming from the
they must have
direction that
seen
the
the
other
light.
guys went.
Heading back to the fellas.
All right, roll dexterity again.
Let's see if you trip right in the middle of the camp, right by the campfire.
I'm rolling really well and really poorly. There's no in between here. I'm hitting a 10.
All right.
You're gonna trip right in the middle of camp, right where you're illuminated by the tent.
You don't trip, but you hear them, and they're coming from behind, and you hear one of them go, "There he is!"
Shit.
All right, so the rest of you guys, you see
Yeah.
Silky running through the trees,
Run, Silky!
and behind him you see two of the elves, both brandishing short swords, running behind him.
I'd like
All right.
I'd like to try to make an attack, if possible.
Okay, I want everyone to roll for initiative now.
Yes! I haven't rolled for initiative in years.
And what's the initiative roll again? That's a 1d20
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
plus
There's no modifier.
no modifier.
All right.
13.
Oh, really? There's no initiative modifier? I thought it was dexterity.
Oh no, if that's the case.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? No, I think you were right. I think you do add your dexterity modifier to it.
I don't remember doing that last time, but I'm okay with that.
Let's do it this time.
All right.
Go with it.
Your cleric has 14.
I have an 18. The wizard has an 18.
All right.
I'm at 14.
Oh, we did pretty good.
I'm at 22,
Nice.
which
Nice.
for Gru is counting all his fingers and toes and a couple.
And those 6 fingers that he has on both hands, right?
All right, and I have a 13.
All right.
So you guys get to go before me, and it will start with Gru.
Okay, so how far away are these guys?
They are about. We'll say that Silky is about 50 feet away from you right now,
And closing.
and and they are about 70 feet away from you.
70 feet away. All right. Well, I've got a couple weapons. I've got a longbow, and I've got a rapier, which I think is French for Cubby Bryant. I'm going to pull out the longbow, and oh yeah, that's actually another 22. 17 plus 5.
All right, and
that is going to deal, total of 5 piercing damage.
It's plenty. They go down at 4.
all right. So yes, describe what happens as you run up to it.
Well, I mean, I'm standing my ground because I'm still kind of a little queasy from the reindeer ride, and all of the mead that I was drinking before. I'm also a little scared of small people, so I'm really kind of not wanting to get too close to them. So as I see Silky running towards me, all ass and elbows, kind of letting out this little squeal as he's running, which is frightening me a little bit too. I pull out my longbow, draw one back, and let it fly. It flies right past Silky, dodging out of the way, as nimble and dexterous as he is, and it takes one of the little people right in the chest.
Right in the chest, and he goes tumbling end over end.
Ooh, nice.
Now the other one probably would turn and run, except that he is just far enough ahead of the other guy to not notice that he went down. So he continues running forward.
You got the very last one in line? Like the one in the very back.
Nice. Good job.
All right.
You're in the way of the other.
Oh. Well, excuse me.
Delmer's up, and the magic missile's working for him. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll go with Tanlo here. You're next, wizard or cleric. Sorry.
I've got a sling, and I'm really good with it. And being a little insecure, I'm asking you guys to back up a little bit. I don't want to hurt any of my friends.
Stand back. I have a sling.
I have a sling. By the way, wizard. Do you like my sling? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need some positive feedback here, guys, because I'm aiming for right there. It's the only really place you can hit with a sling to take somebody down. You hit them in the chest, and they'll rub it off. So I'm winding that up, and I'm just watching that figure run at me, and I'm concentrating on that one point on his forehead.
That sling looks a little wussy.
Do you think really? I'll get a better one when I get back in town.
Yeah,
I'm really
maybe.
sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to embarrass you guys. I thought it was I think it's an okay sling, but you're right. I could probably do better.
It's kind of not so cool. I'm not sure we want that sling in our.
But it's the rock inside. You got to see the rocks I collected. They're like these really smooth, polished stones from the river. They're really beautiful. They have a sheen to them. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Now, I'll take you sometime and show you where it is. You'll love it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just winding that up, and I release. And the damage is 1d4 plus 1. I have a +3 on my attack. Does that add to my dexterity modifier also, or do I just get the attack bonus?
I think you just do the attack bonus.
That's what I thought. Okay, so roll my 20 and add 3. It's a +3 on the sling, okay? I roll a 9 plus 3. I roll a 12.
All right. 12. So your called shot, trying to hit this fellow right in the head, misses, hits him in the chest, and bounces off of his armor.
But did it slow him down?
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah, I think you ought to upgrade that sling.
I'm thinking so. I'm going to do that when I get back. I really appreciate it.
That's some constructive criticism from your teammate.
I really appreciate it. I just want you guys to like me, okay? I'm trying. I'm really trying here. It's a new sling. Maybe it needs to be broken in. I don't know. I'll spend some more time. I'll spend some more time at the range practicing with it.
Yeah, you do that. Maybe get some lessons.
I will.
I seem to have somehow forgotten what Delmer's initiative is.
It was 18.
Oh, it was 18. Oh, I didn't mean to skip you. You can go next.
Now, you had already fired the magic missile. Can you fire that? Is that like an unlimited reload?
It's a minor invocation, so I'm allowed to do that as much as I want.
I could heal the guy that I just hurt. I don't want to. I mean, I feel bad.
So
I feel bad. He's gonna have a big welt there tomorrow.
In my haughty manner, I say, "Well, it's just, I'll take care of this," and I fire, and I manage to do a grand total of two damage.
Good. 2 damage. All right.
Which means I rolled a 1, and I got my +1.
It's a good shot, wizard.
Okay, so the magic missile hits him in the chest. It sizzles through his armor, and he kind of slaps at it. It looks like it hurt him a little bit, but he's still coming toward you guys. And you notice, too, that as he's running, he's got his sword out, but he's also kind of grabbing at something on his belt.
Where is Adolf?
I assume he's behind you.
Is he voice activated? You said he was.
It's possible. You haven't read the manual, so you're not sure what commands work.
That's right, it was manual.
Oh, I'm just wondering if said him running right at the guy.
That's what I was thinking too. I thought we should have just hopped on and just like drove that thing into the tent, man. I still think we should.
Oh, I've got a plan.
All right, Silky.
I want to hear it. Wait, where is Silky? Did he go running by us? Is he by us yet?
My plan. I'm gonna, because I know that there are people in the tent, as they had mentioned when they didn't realize I was listening. I am going to barrel straight into the side of the tent and collapse it, thereby trapping whoever's inside, and hopefully distracting them a little bit while they take care of everything outside.
So you're veering off and heading toward the tent.
Yep.
All right.
I want to collapse that thing.
Okay. So I want you to make yet another dexterity roll.
All right.
Silky.
Oh, God. That is a big old 10.
A 10. Okay, so it's sort of slow motion. You hit the tent, and your foot connects with the ground inside the tent. You just kind of step on the side, and it goes down. And then your next step connects with the ground, and you're moving through the tent. And then your next step, there's no ground. You're going down.
Oh, great.
You whirl yourself around sort of midair and try to grab hold of whatever ledge is underneath the tent that you have just tumbled over. And you manage to sort of grab a portion of the cloth, and the tent sort of slides down, and at this point you are hanging by a tent stake and a tent line.
Great.
Over some sort of unknowable hole. You have no idea what it's how deep it is because there's a tent on top of it.
Great.
And you hear from below you, "What the hell?"
They can't see you. If you fell on the tent to go in the hole, the tent is probably preventing them from seeing you. That's my best guess.
All right. So now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So the elf continues racing toward you guys, and he manages to pull whatever it was that he was trying to get off of his belt. He pulls it up, and you notice that it is a leather-bound flask. He rips the flask out of the leather and chucks it at you as he runs. All right.
Is it mead?
What's that?
Is it mead?
I'd like to jump out of the way as far away as I can.
So everybody except for Silky can make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity
at this point.
throw. Okay.
Everything's coming up silky.
Yes!
Did you?
I failed it.
All right. So a saving throw is just rolling a 10 or higher.
Do you want to roll for our missing member here?
Yeah. I will roll for him, and he got a 10. All right, so let's see. It's going to be... So for anybody who made the save, you take 4 damage.
Ooh.
And for
Failed it.
Tanlo, you take 9 damage.
I'm down to 1 hit point. Does that put me unconscious, or am I just?
You're just in bad shape.
I'm in bad shape.
So what happens?
What we might call bloodied.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody get a cleric, because we gotta.
You're the cleric.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
So this flask comes hurtling towards you, and it smashes on the ground, and there's some sort of catalyst inside that ignites everything, and it just goes up around you.
This is the worst mead ever.
A couple of you are able to kind of jump out of the way, but poor Tanlo is pretty much takes the brunt of the flame.
Tanlo's always taking the brunt of things.
So let's see here. Looks like it's Gru is up next, and this guy is he's about 20 feet away at this point.
All right. Well. All right, I'm going to pull out another arrow. Draw it back. 21.
That would be a hit.
And I'm going to do 8 damage.
All right. So the arrow smashes into him, and he looks like he's in pretty bad shape. The arrow is sticking out of his, rib cage. He staggers a little bit, but he slowly continues onward towards you. He goes, "You just made the naughty list!"
Can I also have another action? So I don't really know how this next stuff works, but I have a skill called Use Rope. I'm kind of hoping that I'm close enough that I can use this to throw a rope towards Silky and help him get out of this tent situation.
How much rope do you have?
It just says rope.
All right, so Silky is probably about 50 feet away.
Okay. Well, my speed's 30 feet, so if I move that, plus I would think I've probably got at least 20 feet of rope.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move up to my speed and use my use rope skill to sort of throw the rope towards Silky, and what happens?
Much appreciated.
Oh, no, actually, this is a D4 skill. So I'm going to help you tell me what happens.
It's a D4 skill?
Yeah, it says so. The skills, I've got a number of skills, and it says the skill die is at 1d4.
I wish I knew what that meant, but I don't.
Yeah. I don't know.
Roll a D4. We'll see what happens.
I just did, and I got a 2.
Okay, you got a 2. Let's see. So the rope lands just out of Silky's reach. Silky, you hear some sort of commotion below you.
Oh, great.
And someone suddenly grabs your ankle through the tent.
Can I squirm or something, or like?
You can squirm, and you can actually potentially use this person as leverage to get to the rope.
Oh, great! Awesome.
But you're going to have to do something that probably doesn't come naturally for Silky.
What's that?
That would be a strength check.
Oh, God. That's my worst stat. All right. Does cooking apply to this situation at all?
Not currently.
All right. Oh my God! I would show you my. I literally roll a 20. Like when it least matters, I roll a 20.
Okay, so you strike out with your foot.
Oh wait. I have a negative modifier on that, so it's technically a 19.
It's a 19. I still think that you succeed in what you're attempting to do. So tell me what happens.
So there's a hand coming up.
Yeah, I mean the hand had grasped you by your ankle. You were, I guess, trying to kind of push yourself off of whatever person was trying to pull you down.
So that gave me enough resistance to hop up and grab the rope and shimmy up.
Yes, you managed to kind of pull yourself away from whoever's trying to pull you down, and in the process, probably give them a pretty good shiner by kicking off of their face.
Sweet.
Now, the wizard followed Gru, but I don't know if the wizard actually grabbed the rope. I don't know how strong the wizard is. If the wizard's sufficiently strong, he could help hold the rope.
The wizard's kind of strong. The wizard's back, by the way.
Because the cleric's back
You know what?
rolling in the snow in pain.
Gru is a little perturbed that you don't think that he's strong enough to pull up a half.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't meaning to imply that you needed help. I just figured, there was a lot of rope. You might want to just, help pull because in case your hands got wet.
The problem is that the wizard has a -1. On
You
his
know,
strength
when Gru
modifier.
gets back to town, he might need to talk to his head cleric a little.
We don't have to do that. You don't. We can work this out. You don't have to go that far. By the way, while I'm writhing in pain, am I allowed to do a little self-healing?
Is that what you call it?
Hello, Michael? Did we lose Michael? I think we lost our DM.
Oh crap!
Nice.
I will say that I'll answer in his stead.
Heal
You
myself.
may do a little self-healing, but you have to wait until it is your turn.
Until my turn, right?
There's 2 of you.
Oh my God!
How do you do that trick?